Hello, welcome. Mike Binder here, episode 5 of Standupworld, the podcast, the little podcast that could. Welcome to the sad little festival in my mind that thinks anyone's listening to this. Pretty obvious, I'm a special needs comedian. There's a piece missing up here, but we carry on. We're going to build this with your help into something very special. Got a lot to talk about today. A couple of really great comedians that I want to profile that we have profiled recently this week, actually, on standupworld.com. I want to talk about my 2 woke little monsters children, grown kids that need spanking. And got a couple other things to talk about. But first, I want to talk about our sponsor. Hey, this is the Olmec, the newest line of cigars from Foundation Cigars, which is really an amazing company. I just love this. Oh, look at that. Look at that. This is, I forget what this is called, what size this is. I don't know. Size doesn't matter, folks. Smoke matters. That includes penises too. Your penis can smoke, doesn't matter what size it is. But no, this thing is unbelievable. And I love Foundation Cigars. They're handmade cigars, Nicaraguan tobacco with Connecticut leaf, made by my friend Nicholas Malillo in Nicaragua. He's originally from Connecticut. He has spent his life learning and working and running some major Nicaraguan cigar company factories, or I don't know what you call it. I don't think you really call them factories, farms, or whatever. I'm just guessing, folks. I don't know the lingo, but he learned. He worked his way up with the masters and then started his own group, Foundation Cigars, and I just love them. They are so good. And if you ever see Joe Rogan smoking the Joe Rogan cigars, Nick made those. Those are Nick's. Nick and I are going to be doing something very special to raise money for a comedian's charity, Comedians in Crisis, using some comedian making cigars for comedians. But right now, just the Olmec. Get it. If you love cigars, all your cigar stores probably have it now. If they don't, they will. You can get it online. You can go to Nick's site, Foundation Cigars site, and order one. Okay, that's it. Look how good I am at the commercials. Wow. So I've said before that I have 2 woke little monsters, 2 wide awoke little woking dead grown kids who I adore, but they drive me crazy. We get in these weirdest arguments or not conversations. My son actually was trying to explain to me the other day why America is not the greatest country in the world. And I simply asked him, well, then what is? What is? And he gave the stock answer, Denmark or Sweden. I guess Denmark or Sweden, I don't know. I go, come on. Have you ever been to Denmark or Sweden? No. But I watched a lot about it on TikTok. Okay, good. That's great. I'm glad to hear that. Denmark and Sweden are not the greatest countries in the world. They're tiny little municipalities compared to America. And now, by the way, since they're kind of giving up the farm a little bit in terms of their security, they're not doing so well either. No, Dad, you're wrong, man. They're clean and everything's free and everybody loves each other and they're not building no wall there. And I said, look, you know what? Write this down. Take a note. This is good advice from your old man. The guy who doesn't keep his door closed has nothing worth taking. My son, he's such a great little smart ass. He's very bright. He said, yeah, is that why you walk around with your zipper down, Dad? Check it out. And I do walk around with my zipper around sometimes, a lot. My wife and my kids are constantly going, Dad, zipper, 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 zipper. Like my name is Zipper and I'm their pet. But I do. I don't know why. I don't know if that's an age thing. They make these locks on these jeans, but I don't know. My zipper's down a lot. That's all I'm saying. It's more than I think you probably needed to know, but I did need to tell you that. But I just always forget to check, and my wife says, I'm getting very forgetful. I have to say that's the other thing I just want to bring up. You're getting old when you're constantly. I leave the house 3-4 times, have to come back for another thing I forgot before I drive away. Sometimes I'm not even leaving the right house. So I just, I'm very forgetful. My wife says that I shouldn't worry about that because she claims I was very forgetful in my 20s, 30s, and 40s. But I don't remember that. That's all I can tell you. I don't remember being forgetful as much as I'm aware that I'm forgetful now. I asked my son, I said, hey, was I forgetful like when you were a kid in your teens or whatever? And he said, Dad, I was so high, I don't remember any of my teens, which is something you want to hear. Because all I remember is whenever I'd be in the room with my friends, my bedroom, with the door locked, you'd be pounding on the door as if you were the Gestapo or something. But that's about all I remember of my teens. And I asked my daughter, I said, do you remember me being forgetful like when you were a kid? And she goes, I don't remember anything of my childhood. It was too painful and emotional, and I blanked it all out. I said, okay, great. This is wonderful. So the only one that remembers anything is my wife, who, as many of you know, identifies as a hostage, and I call her the hostage. I said, so the only one that remembers is the hostage? She's the only one that has any memory of our past? Do we trust her? I mean, it's just, that's a little strange, right? Anyway, my son showers with a mask on, just so you know, just to give you a little heads up of who I'm dealing with. He's constantly saying, Dad, the earth has less than 12 years to live. I say, oh, fuck off. Joe Biden has more than that. Come on. Can't be following the catalog that closely. Okay, anyway, I'm going to quit complaining about my kids and my family because I do love them. I'm a lucky man. And I'm going to move on to someone who I think is really incredible, and that's Jessica Kirson. I love her. I got to say, she is so powerhouse funny. Just, she's going to be a legend. She is a legend, but she's going to be, I think, one of the biggest comics in the industry. She's just so fucking funny, you know? And just look at a little piece of one of her specials.
Anyone have a birthday coming up? Great. Do you ever notice? I can't wait to get out of here. Do you ever notice when you sing Happy Birthday how miserable and depressed people look while they're singing that song? It's a horribly depressing song. Everyone stands around, Happy birthday to you. And then there's some person in the back who has to belt out the song. Like they're auditioning for American Idol. Everyone else looks suicidal, and my mother would be in the back, Happy birthday! I went to my friend Kim's birthday party from a big black family. They didn't sing Happy Birthday like that. They had energy, passion, soul. Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday! I was in the corner, I was like... But white people, happy birthday, I'm white.
I just love her. Her crowd work's great, but she also does, some of these bits are just that she sneaks in. You think she's always doing crowd work, but she's sneaking in bits. And she's just really, they're brave, you know, and raw and just gut funny. And I'll say something else. There's a fluidity and a quickness and a fierceness about her comedy that, I don't know, it just reminds me, she's part Rickles, part Buddy Hackett, part Robin Williams. I'm such a fan of hers. I have been since the very first time I saw her. Bill Burr actually turned me on to her. And I think that she could be the next Bill Burr, you know? I mean, that's how big I think she is and how great I think she is. We did a profile on her on standupworld.com this week. So go on over there and listen to it. Here's another little piece from her.
I love having a daughter, but she is at a certain age where she just keeps yelling stuff out. The other day she goes, "Mama, you're squishy." "You're squishy, Mama." I'm like, "You're a whore!" Like, stop calling me that. I'm not stable.
Yeah, Jessica Kirson. Love her. Read about her on standupworld.com this week. The other comic that I want to talk about is Pauly Shore. Pauly Shore, who I went a little bit on the leg of his tour last week, opened for him or middled for him, whatever you call it, and just trying to get my sea legs back. And I was impressed. You know, Pauly's been out there on the road hustling for over 30 years. And I told the crowd, I said, hey, I started as babysitter. Check this out. A quick success story. I moved out from Detroit when I was 17 years old. I got my first job working for Mitzi Shore, who owned the Comedy Store on Sunset Boulevard. My job was to babysit Pauly Shore. As the years went on, I was an actor. I had my own TV series on HBO. I directed 12 movies and won awards. And now I'm babysitting Pauly Shore again. Folks, don't take anything for granted. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, Pauly's become a great comic. And, you know, a lot of people, oh, no way, Pauly Shore, now you're just liking everybody. That's not true. There's a lot of comics I don't like and I don't think are funny, and I'm not bringing them up. But Pauly, first of all, I love him. He's just a little weasel, and I've known him since we were kids. Grew up with him, and as he grew up, he's got a big heart. But he loves being on the road, and he sells out every night, every show. It's amazing. He packs the houses, and he's become a great comic. That's the other thing. You know, you have to really realize Pauly has become, and when I say great comic, is he Chappelle and Burr? Is he Jessica Kirson? I don't know. But I know that for 1 hour, from the time he hits the stage, he's just belting them out of the park, one after another. The audience is loving what he's doing on stage. Okay. And to me, you can overanalyze this art, and you can, well, it's not deep, it's not this, it's that. But at the end of the day, our audience is pissing in their pants. Are they, for 1 hour, forgetting about everything but laughing really hard? Yeah, that makes you a great comic. And that Pauly is that guy. 30 years on the road. He went from being a young kid who was an MTV jock and then a movie star, and then out on the road with Sam Kinison and his dad. And he was a good comic. He was okay. I never thought he was great. He has grown so much and matured. He's got a lot of his dad in him now. And his dad was a damn good comic who was also on the road for many, many decades. And, you know, you can't help but get great. You do it that much and you love it and you love your fans, you're going to get great. That's why I love this art form, because you can get really great, you know, but you've got to give your whole life to it. And Pauly has given his whole life to it. If you ever get a chance, go out there and see him. Go. He plays all these clubs, Funny Bones, Improvs, Giggles, Comedy Crockpots, every one of them. And he sells out every show, and his fans, they come and they just laugh their ass off and they leave really happy. So check him out. Pauly Shore, Jessica Curson, my woke kids. That's the things we've discussed this week. Next week, I've got some interesting stuff that I'm going to throw your way that I think might be a little controversial, but we're going to have fun. Listen, thank you so much for listening to this, for downloading it. Please rate it on Apple and Spotify and wherever podcasts are peddled. Just help out. Help me grow this thing. And if you do, it will bear fruit. I promise you, if you are a stand-up fan and you love stand-up comedy, we'll get into it and you'll enjoy this. And visit standupworld.com. And of course, even if you don't smoke cigars, take it up and start smoking Foundation cigars. That's it. That's episode 5. I love you. God bless you. And thank you very, very